Throughout the many years of the internet, we have seen many trends and celebrities come and go. The same can be said when it comes to basketball trends on the internet. The first wave of basketball blowing up on the internet was the streetball wave, like the N1 tours featuring The Professor, former NBA player Rafer Alston, Escalade, rest in peace, and many more. After that trend started to die out, the next becoming seeing mixtapes and highlights of high school basketball players online, basically making them celebrities overnight with millions of views through the outlets like Ball is Life and Overtime. But today's video will be about one of the more infamous characters in the high school basketball mixtape era, Julian Newman and his father, Jamie Newman, with the final season of Julian Newman's high school career. We'll be discussing his final season, how things turn out, headlines that he made, and most importantly, information that not a lot of people can find, but I did my best to do, Prodigy Prep's record as a team. I promise y'all gonna want to stay for the whole video to find out as much information as possible. That will be all facts. The like goal is 1,000, and I'm not making the same mistake as my first Newman family video where I asked for 10. I'm going for more. But anyways, you already know who it is. Roll it!
He incurred an injury dealing with weights in the weight room, so he stitched up in the left hand doing all this.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we go into Julian Newman's last season, let's take a recap of his time before this. Not his whole life, but just last season. Julian Newman in the 2018-2019 season played with Downey Christian High School in Orlando, Florida, where he was the main scoring option and his dad, Jamie Newman, coached. Now, unlike what I had to do to find information on Prodigy Prep, since Downey fucking Christian is an actual school, their basketball team stats is online and for everyone to see on maxpreps.com, where, as you can see, his team went 17-26 on the year, which is a win percentage of 39%. Not bad, but when you are hyped up this much, it is definitely a disappointing record, and they also went on a 12-game losing streak to end the season. Now, Julian Newman's stats online also says that he averaged 32 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, while shooting 47% from the field, which I can only call bullshit on, because if you average 32 points a game while being considered a quote-unquote knockdown shooter, then either the rest of the team sucks, which I'm not going to discuss that, or you average 32 points, but that field goal percentage is false, which sounds more believable. Again, won't be getting into that, but I definitely have my suspicions because they usually play a mix of bad competitions due to the division they play in and other prep schools. But again, I won't go into that any further. I'm just showing you what I found online. Hey guys, editing Alvini here. I just wanted to mention how I also see that this nigga somehow shot 50% from the field one year. Yeah, absolute bullshit. They are definitely fabricating his stats. They have to be. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. But after Julian's junior season, his dad decided to open up his own school called Prodigy Prep, based in Orlando, Florida, in some town in Kentucky. Now, in my video where I talked about this news originally, I said that this move had to be for publicity and for more clout for Julian so he can go against better competition and to somehow clutch a scholarship, or again, more clout, and I still stand by that opinion. Now, when this news became public, of course you can expect an interview or two to happen. In this case, USA Today decided to interview Jamie Newman about the issue. The most important quote by Jamie was, "We already got a game against IMG Academy and we're setting up a bunch of other marquee games," Jamie said. "This schedule is going to be the toughest schedule in the country," which it didn't end up being, as we all know, but that's what we want. Now again, I can only believe this to happen because just like the Julian Newman and LaMelo Ball game, hype does a lot, and hype means clout. And since they are a prep school, they can basically go against any school in the country, be it Oak Hill, Sierra Canyon, Mount Verde, any school if they so accepted the invitation. Like, imagine the headlines of Julian Newman versus Bronny James. The internet would explode. I am glad that the only game that did end up happening was IMG, because we don't need to see Julian get smacked around by every good school in America. Also, fun fact while reading that interview, they practice at a local YMCA. Now, the parts y'all have been waiting for. I have seen many people search online about what Prodigy Prep's record is as a team. What I have done is search the internet for every game Prodigy Prep has played. I've been through highlights after highlights of their team to simply type in a Google Doc who they went against, what was the score, and who won. At first, during my research, it was slow because surprisingly there wasn't a lot of Prodigy Prep videos online, which I definitely don't mind since they don't deserve any recognition in the first place. But after a little bit of digging, I found out the channel on YouTube, the Grind Session, that records a lot of Prodigy Prep schools basketball games live. And with that, I found a lot of Prodigy Prep basketball games, and I even somehow found other games through third-party channels and noted that also. Now the question is, why is Prodigy Prep so secretive about their record? Usually you can imagine a proud businessman like Jamie Newman to have a little bit of humility, right? They rarely even post when they win on their school's page on Instagram. Well, maybe it's because the Prodigy Prep basketball team has a record of at least 6-13. You heard me right. A win-loss record of 6-13. A win percentage of 31%. Now, if you don't believe me, in the description and the pinned comment is a Google Doc that I made of every game I can find, who they win against, the score, and most importantly, who won and who lost. Now, I am completely aware that 19 games don't sound like a whole high school basketball season, which I can agree with. Julian's old high school team played at least 43 games last year, according to Max Preps. But considering that this is a prep school and not a public school, let's look at how many games that other prep schools are playing. Victory Rock Prep played 18 games this season, which is one less than Prodigy Prep. IMG only played 27, and Mount Verde has only played 25. And also considering that this is the first season ever for the school, this has to be the most accurate record you can find on the internet that isn't straight from the team itself. I can imagine why he wouldn't want to disclose this information because A, the team that he has doesn't even compare to other prep school teams, so of course they lose, and B, if he decides to make the record public, potential recruits might go away because of all the losing. One more piece of evidence to show how low level of a prep school they are, let me show you this article by Murray Ledger, the local newspaper of Murray, Kentucky, as they responded to how Murray High School beat Prodigy Prep by 16 points and how Jamie Newman called them the worst team they played all year. Kinda disrespectful since the team we called the worst team we played all year is actually 19-5 and a top 50 team in the state of Kentucky, but hey, I'm sure they enjoyed the win. Now lastly, let's talk about all the highlights of Julian's time at Prodigy Prep. Firstly, he got ejected in the first game of the season, got in some drama with an ex that caused a huge street fight, and I know that wasn't his fault, but it's still worth mentioning just to show all the drama that happened this season. And the most infamous situation of them all, the IMG incident. Now, like I said earlier, Julian had that game versus Vomelo and got exposed as usual whenever he goes against top tier competition, and this one shows again that even though Julian is pretty decent, he shouldn't even get compared to any of the top tier high school players. But I'm sure you all remember the situation. He got exposed and went off and threw a chair at a dude that blocked him. He was doing so much stupid shit in the game and not even playing defense. We all know how this was going to end, but the chair was definitely unexpected as fuck. Now remember when I said earlier that they can literally go against any school if they accepted? Imagine if he threw a chair at Bronny James or Dwayne Wade's kid. Again, the internet would explode. Luckily, it was just some dude from IMG. He deserves his props. He's probably a really good player, but just if it happened to any famous person from high school basketball, it would be so much worse. Now, some people think it's because he's really a hothead, and some people think it's just his chance for more clout, because of course, everyone would love to see how you do against top competition like IMG, and as expected, that video blew up. Honestly, don't know what to say. I think it's more of a mix, but I'm not him, so I wouldn't know. All in all, the Prodigy Prep season was a complete failure. They didn't even go over 500. Julian probably had one of his worst seasons in his high school basketball career. The incidents he had during the season, and as you can expect, currently 0 college scholarships. Now, I'd usually talk about what would happen in the future, but at this point, I kind of don't care. The whole Newman situation is likely going to be a dead subject after this year unless he goes and plays ball professionally, which I see a tiny chance of happening. But due to all of this clout he gained over the years, he'll probably be a social media influencer with overtime of all his life. That's probably honestly the best case scenario. I wouldn't even be surprised if he made a YouTube channel and do stuff on here. It wouldn't surprise me one bit, though that would be funny to see because people generally don't like the kid, so his comment section and his like to dislike ratio would probably be fucked up. But either way, he's going to graduate high school this year, and I'm sure he'll be successful in some type of way. In professional basketball, maybe not, but in some social media aspect, definitely. I hope the best for him and his family success-wise. But do me a favor, people watching my video, if you're going to be a basketball dad, don't go as hardcore as Jamie, and don't let your kid get away with what Jamie allowed Julian to get away with. Be a LeVar, not a Jamie New. Anyways, that's the end of today's video, and I hope you enjoyed. This will definitely be the last video of the basically series I made on the Newman family, but I can assure you the quality basketball content will stay for you to get informed and at the same time entertained. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm sure that you'll like it, so subscribe for more. As always, follow my Instagram to get sneak peeks of what I'm doing YouTube wise, and to DM me to say what's up. I also have a Discord if you want to talk to me live and just chill with the other subscribers. And now that I'm done with college for the semester, expect a video or two a week because as you all know, I'm trying to blow up on the platform. But anyways, this is your boy, Alvini Linguine, saying peace.